Honestly, Glen Powell is so generically handsome, and yet for some reason in this movie, he plays an absolute rat, an absolute dog of a man.
He was a rat.
The Running Man is a new movie directed by Edgar Wright, starring Glen Powell as Ben, who's a very generically handsome man having a very generic name. The movie follows Ben as he decides to go on the show The Running Man to make money for his sick daughter, and all sorts of crazy mad shit ensues. You've seen it, it's The Running Man, although it's a bit more like the book apparently. I don't know, I haven't read it.
How dare you?
No, straight up, I've never read the book, and I've never seen the original 80s movie. I know, what the fuck. So, I'm going to this completely fresh, never seen anything, which I think might be a really good way to view it. I don't know. I imagine everyone else has seen the original, so I don't know. We'll see what happens. I think the best way to start this review is to talk about Edgar Wright as a filmmaker, because surprisingly enough, this is his biggest budgeted movie. It is surprising because The Running Man doesn't seem anything like an Edgar Wright movie, especially if you know that the previous one had Arnold Schwarzenegger in it. But here we are with The Running Man. Edgar Wright coming off Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, World's End, Baby Driver, that other one, Last Night in Soho. God, that was rubbish. Did you see that? It was terrible. But I've got to say, Running Man, it's pretty good. It's actually very good. I was really surprised. It does have its problems, which I'll get into, but overall, the movie's pretty good. You can shut the review off now. Bye. I guess we should start from the beginning. The movie starts out, it does a great job of establishing the world, first of all. The world in general, to be honest, is very much like our own. It's quite creepy, actually. It's very eerily close. There's a lot of establishing shots of cities, and they're not futuristic in any way. They look like American cities, but when they get closer to the ground, there is futuristic elements in there. However, it's very much like our own world, which lends a sense of eeriness to the entire film, to be honest. Like, yes, it holds a mirror to our society, but to what end, Edgar? It's funny because even though this has no ties to the original and is apparently trying to be more like the book, the premise is very much an 80s movie. A big corporation trying to fuck everyone over and a nobody trying to take it on. Also, the movie has very heavy-handed satire, much like RoboCop. In fact, quite a few times I was reminded of RoboCop during this, from the commercials to even the acting. I was very much taken by surprise by how RoboCop it was.
Bitches leave.
Now, as I said in the intro, Glen Powell is a generically handsome man, but in this for some reason has decided to play an absolute scumbag rat man. He's not actually a scumbag, but he looks dirty all the time and is ridiculously angry for some reason all the time, which to be honest I loved. Glen Powell plays it really well. It's just a shame that later on that anger is really lost, and by the end he just kind of becomes more chill.
Give your meat a good old rub.
Which is really odd because as more crazy shit starts happening to him, the more chill he gets. I mean, I don't know what's going on there, Glenn. And another thing I really loved about the lead character is that he's not an action star. I mean, he kind of becomes it by the end, but at the beginning, and especially the first 2/3 of the movie, he's completely outmatched. He has no idea what he's doing, and he's kind of just lucky, to be honest. And he's kind of getting saved a lot by the TV network. Now, I gotta say one thing about this movie that really salvages it. It's funny. It's really funny. And a big thing towards that is because everyone in this movie is awful. Everyone looks greasy and dirty. And even those that look really shiny, like Josh Brolin, they're awful. They're just awful people all the time. I love it. I love a movie where everyone's just the worst person in the world. It's great. Like those 80s movies, like RoboCop. Everyone's just awful. Bring them back. Bring back more awful people in movies. Put Jimmy Savile in a movie.
Go on, kids!
And to be honest, that really accentuates how awful the world is. There's even a line in here that says, "Wondering will be prosecuted."
We live in a society.
I mean, it's all stuff we've seen before. It's RoboCop, it's the Hunger Games, it's Battle Royale, it's a lot of stuff. But the lavish set designs of the upper class and the disgusting ratty nature of the lower class really works. It's just a tried and true formula. It really helps sell the world, and it really works. It's worked forever. I mean, the film has its own Kardashian show in there, which when it showed clips of that, I was just laughing my head off. I loved it.
Courtney, what the is up with your Wi-Fi?
It may be Edgar Wright's biggest budget, but it's the least Edgar Wrighty movie. There's not many of them whip pans over and quick cut editing. It's very much more like a generic action movie, which does work in the movie's favour. It's just not very Edgar Wright. I've got to say though, I have a question. There's a lot of damage and destruction in this movie. Who pays for it? Is it the network? Are they, I know they're kind of part of the government, but is it them that pay for it all? What's going on there? So as the movie's going on, I'm thinking, this is really great. I'm so invested in this. This is really interesting. It's really fun. All the action's really fun. You know, it's very much like an underdog story in which the guy's completely outmatched. Unfortunately, by the third act, the movie does kind of start falling apart. There's a new character introduced in a car star, and it just doesn't work. It's too rushed, it's too quick, and the movie is asking us to invest in this character, and to be honest, it's just too quick. It's too close to the end, and it's just not going to work.
Stop filming me!
Also, there is a twist near the end, a fake out, you could say, and it's just terrible. The whole time I knew what was going on. I don't really understand why they decided to do this, because it's so obvious, and the movie even seems to play it as if it's really obvious, like it knows exactly what it's doing. It's like, yeah, of course this is happening. So why put it in? I don't understand. They kind of deflated everything. And also the ending, it's not great. Like I said, it's a shame really, because those first 2/3 are really great, and it does leave you a bit lackluster at the end, which is so unfortunate. Another reason why the ending is so lackluster is Glen Powell starts out as this character that is very angry, but he doesn't know what he's doing. He's not an action star, but he's such an angry man, and that's why he could win the Running Man. That's what people keep telling him. But by the end, he's not very angry, as I said, and also he does become an action star. He's all of a sudden taking out guys left, right, and center, and it's very much like, where did this come from? It feels very rushed. Feels like this was like part 3 of The Running Man rather than the ending to the first one. And even though the movie does take inspiration from other movies, as I said, the movie does become too generic later on. You know where everything's going to go, and all the characters become very much generic 80s action stars, which is really a shame. Now, you've got the channel executive played by Josh Brolin, and he's great in this movie. He's got very limited screen time, but he's so evil and so grim. It's fun to see him play a character like in Weapons, where he's like a downtrodden dad, and then something like this, where he's this egotistical network manager with the biggest teeth you've ever seen, just an evil bastard who you want to see him get got. You know what I mean? Like classic 80s action villain.
So good.
Overall, to be honest, it's another surprise like Predator Badlands. It's like Death Race and RoboCop meets Novocaine or Nobody. It's really good fun, and if you like those sorts of movies, I think you're really going to enjoy this. Just maybe just watch the first 2/3 and then you'll have a good time. I'm going to give The Running Man a 6 out of 10. Why not, eh? 6 out of 10. Same as Predator earlier. Why not?
It's the biggest piece of dog shit that I have ever heard.
This video is sponsored by winter in England. It's really fucking cold.
Kill yourself now. You should kill yourself now. And your life is for nothing. And use some zero.